Hi people, welcome back to my Walking Dead Wednesdays video. Today's video is about the latest episode of The Walking Dead, which was episode 7, called Sing Me a Song. So out of every episode that we've had so far in season 7, I would have to say that this is probably my favourite. Obviously the premiere was an amazing episode, but I can't really say I enjoyed it because of what happened, but it was definitely an amazing episode. The ones in between have been okay, but they have been quite slow paced, which I've enjoyed, but definitely it's always nice when we get a lot of tension and a lot of action in The Walking Dead, and I think we got that in this episode. I think it's just built up enough, and then next episode I think is going to be a bit more explosive. So this episode was a lot different to the rest of the episodes that we've had so far because it wasn't a bottle episode. It didn't focus on one part of the cast in one place. Episode 5, Go Getters, that did bounce around a little bit. We were at the hilltop and then we were at Alexandria for a little bit, and then we saw Carl and Enid on the journey to the hilltop. But this episode bounced around a lot more, although a lot of different places that we went, Negan and Carl were both involved in a lot of those situations. So two people who we did see was Aaron and Rick, and they are on a mission to get supplies and go out scavenging for the Saviours, and they have come across a person's hideout where they think they'll be able to get a lot of supplies, but they have come across an obstacle to get to the place where they think the supplies are. There's a whole body of water and there are lots and lots of walkers in there, so I think they'll be successful in getting whatever is in this house, but I think that getting to the house and then getting back to Alexandria is going to take a lot more time than they plan to be out of Alexandria. So I think there's going to be things that are going to go off in Alexandria that Rick's not going to have any control over because he's not going to be there. So Michonne and Rosita are seen in this episode, both separately, but they are both definitely on the same mission to get to Negan and to basically kill him. So Michonne at the beginning is whistling along and these walkers are following her, and then she just kills them and she starts dragging them away. And you know, Michonne was crazy before, so it's like, is she going back to that? But she actually creates like a roadblock of walkers, and then this woman comes along who I've never seen on the show before, but Michonne clearly knows that she's a saviour because she has lured somebody into this trap and has now asked this woman to take her to Negan. The woman, of course, tries to overthrow Michonne, but this is Michonne we're talking about. She clearly does not know her because she manages to fight back, and again she points a gun to her head and she says, take me to Negan. So they're on their way to the sanctuary. Rosita, on the other hand, has convinced Eugene to make her the bullet. Albeit she kind of pounded Eugene into the ground, metaphorically, with her words, as she always likes to do. I know that she's in a lot of pain emotionally with losing Abraham, and she's said this kind of stuff to Eugene before. She said that he's weak during the weapons training and he ended up walking off. He proved himself that he's not weak. He came out during No Way Out, during the big zombie off, and he managed to help Alexandria. So, and you know, he's the one who can make the bullets, and he might be a crucial part of saving Alexandria and providing the ammo that they don't have anymore. So I think Rosita can go a little easier on Eugene, but I understand her frustrations. But again, she's now got this bullet. Is she going to be able to use it on Negan? I'm guessing not. I think that's going to be too easy, her being able to just pop him off. I think that's too easy, but the bullets are going to come in handy. So Jesus and Carl both found the sanctuary, although Jesus decided to jump out of the truck and stay back a bit, while Carl decided to carry on and again fooled Jesus. And Jesus is definitely, he's letting Carl do his thing, and he's, you know, he's not his dad. He doesn't know Carl, he doesn't know what he's capable of. He knows what the Saviours are capable of, and Carl definitely knows what the Saviours and Negan are capable of because he was there to see it happen. But it's like Jesus kind of trusts Carl to do his own thing, and he's not trying to hold him back. And I think up until season 6, especially after he got his eye shot out, I think Rick has always been extremely protective of Carl and has always kept him like in bubble wrap and kept him in the safest place while he goes off and does all these dangerous missions. And they're all in danger in this world, everybody, no matter how equipped you are. I mean, Abraham was in the army, and yes, it was a different kind of situation that he couldn't really get out of, but it just proves that no matter how big, tall, old, young, strong, weak you are, nobody is really safe in the apocalypse. And I think Rick is starting to see that Carl can hold his own, but obviously he still wants to protect him because he's his son. But because Jesus doesn't have that kind of relationship with him, he's not gonna like protect him and wrap him in bubble wrap like that. If Carl wants to do something on his own, Jesus won't stop him. Obviously if he gets killed, then that's not great, but Jesus isn't going to stop Carl if Carl wants to do something. I think that's very good of Jesus to just let Carl do his own thing, but I think it's easier for him to let him do that because there's no sort of, they haven't known each other long, they don't have like a strong emotional connection with each other yet, which is why it's a good job it was Jesus in the truck, because Carl may never have made it to the sanctuary, and at the end of the day it's what Carl wanted, so he was gonna get there no matter who tried to stop him. So now that Jesus has found the sanctuary and has seemingly found it, got in, got out and away safely, it looks like he'll go back to the hilltop and he'll tell Sasha, I found the sanctuary, I know where it is, I left a trail. So it looks like we're going to have 2 more women who are going to be on the mission to kill Negan, because Sasha and Maggie especially are 2 women that will definitely want to see Negan dead. Also, at the same time as Jesus getting even closer to the sanctuary after Carl had got in there and had his whole thing with Negan, Daryl has somebody slip a note under his cell door that he has to go back to. Luckily they didn't play Easy Street again, and it says go now on it, and at first the first thing I thought was that it was Jesus and Jesus had come to save him, and then I thought maybe it's Sherry, because even though she tried to stop him before, maybe deep down she does want him to escape. And then some people have said maybe it's Dwight. I think there's a strong case for it being any 3 of those people, and I hope they surprise us in who it is, but I think if it is Sherry, Dwight, especially Jesus, then it won't be surprising. So Carl has become a little badass. I mean, we've seen his behaviour with Negan, and we've seen how he's always giving him the eye, and always, that was not a joke by the way, the eye, that was not a joke. He's always like, you know, having this threatening look about him and saying, and threatening him himself, saying you should go, we're dangerous, and he still has it all the way up to him Negan forcing him to take the bandage off. He kills 2 of Negan's saviours, and to be fair, the punishment that Negan gives to him, it is sort of a humiliating thing for Carl, having to show his eye socket and then having to sing a song while having Lucille shoved in his face. But I definitely think that Carl got off pretty lightly, and I think Negan has got some respect, genuine respect for Carl, and the fact that he is standing up to him. And Rick had a look of defiance, but he wasn't like 100% defiant, but I think Carl is 100% defiant, so I think that's why Negan respects Carl. I think he does respect Rick, but not as much as he respects Carl. But yeah, the eye was it was gruesome as expected, and the song, of course, was sad to see Carl, you know, in tears, because we haven't seen that for a while. I mean, even when he had to shoot his mum in the head, like, he wasn't like he was then. He was strong, really. And you know, I think it was when he had to almost shoot his dad because he thought his dad had turned into a walker in season 4, where we really saw him break down. And then obviously when Joe and the Claimers came along. But I think since then we haven't really seen him cry or be scared or anything like that until this moment. So it was sad to see, because he has this bravado that he's sort of shown with Negan now, and it's like he has to prove himself over and over that he can keep this, and he kind of dropped it a little bit when he had to show him the eye. So this little section again is going to contain a spoiler from the comics involving Spencer, and I have already mentioned it in a previous Walking Dead Wednesdays video, but yeah, in terms of the TV show, Spencer is definitely trying to take Gregory's douchebag crown, and I think he's succeeded. I think they're showing it. I think Gregory is the king of the douchebags and Spencer is the prince of the douchebags. They both have a crown for that. Him saying that he hates Rick in the car, everything that he really said in this episode about, like, he can do better than Rick, he's going to pay his taxes, oh, that's what Rick wants, it'll be better if Rick never comes back. All of that is automatically going to make a lot of viewers, because even if Rick's not your favourite character, he is the main character, and it's hard to find a Walking Dead fan that genuinely dislikes Rick, at least in the way that Spencer does. So, you know, you're going to have all the fans really turning on Spencer with the things that he's saying, which kind of sets him up for a satisfying death, as in, like, it'll be satisfying for us to see someone who is turning on Rick not be there anymore, because that's kind of poisonous to Alexandria and it's not what they want. So I definitely think there's going to be some sort of payoff with the way that they're portraying Spencer right now. Either a redeemable factor, or it will result in his death, which everyone will be glad about because of the way that he's talking about Rick. Is that going to happen in the next episode? My money's on probably, possibly, maybe. And finally, Negan decides to go back to Alexandria and take Carl back, and he really hasn't done anything else to him. The showing of the eye socket and the humiliation, the song, I mean, he killed 2 of Negan's men. And Carl is part of the enemy. Mark is a saviour. Amber is a saviour and one of his wives. They are part of his community. But when Negan gets wind that Mark and Amber, who were boyfriend and girlfriend before she decided to be Negan's wife, when he gets wind that those two have started, like, seeing each other again, and Amber is effectively cheating on Negan, he gets the iron. So what I thought was going to happen in episode 3, and we were going to see the guy who escaped from the sanctuary get the iron as punishment, and then we'd sort of see like a look on Dwight's face as he remembers how he got the iron. We actually saw Mark get the iron as punishment for cheating with Amber. And Amber doesn't get any punishment, really. Nothing at all. I mean, I guess you could call having to stay with Negan a punishment, but, you know, she doesn't get anything close to having a hot, it's not even hot, a scalding iron pressed against your face so bad that you pass out from the pain. So yeah, Negan takes Carl back to Alexandria and they go into the house, and Olivia is there. And Olivia, I don't know if it's stupidly or if it's just, you know, but she makes a comment about the fact that Rick won't be back in time because he's out scavenging, because they're running very low on food and they're practically starving. And Negan, being the asshole that he is, makes a comment about the fact that they're not really starving because Olivia isn't exactly Rosita's size. Ugh. And of course this upsets Olivia and she turns around crying, and Negan's like taken aback by it. I mean, why he's taken aback, I don't know. It's like, did you really think that that comment was not going to offend or upset her in some way? Like, everybody isn't as cold-hearted as you. People do have hearts and souls. They're not empty like you, Negan. And then he proposes, as he will be around for a while, that the two of them sleep together. And that's kind of like a thing that happens in real life, as in a guy will like give like a backhanded compliment to a woman. He'll like say that she's fat or she's ugly or whatever, but will then like say like that he'll still sleep with her. And women who have very low self-esteem will sort of sleep with that person because they think that it is some sort of validation that they will sleep with them, that actually maybe they're not that fat, maybe they're not that ugly. Olivia is not taking any of Negan's shit, and she gives him a great big wallop across the face. And obviously at first I was immensely glad that she did that, and then I was thinking, oh crap, he's gonna kill her. But no. Now, because she inflicted some violence on him, he is now 50% more into her. Just saying. Oh, that's great. So how much more into her are you going to be if she gives you a kick in the nuts a couple of times? So those were my thoughts on episode 7 of The Walking Dead, season 7, Sing Me a Song. The next episode is the mid-season finale, and it's called Hearts Still Beating. And from the preview, it looks like we're going to be in Alexandria. Then it looks like we're going to see a bit of Aaron and Rick hopefully succeeding on their mission, and it looks like we're also going to see a bit of the kingdom, and one of the kingdom goers, can't remember his name, but he definitely wants to start up this war against Negan. So it looks like maybe something will happen in this mid-season finale that will trigger the war and get the ball rolling and get the kingdom and the hilltop and Alexandria together. Maybe even Oceanside will come in, and then they'll all rally around each other to fight off the saviors. Maybe war is coming earlier than we think. Maybe it will come at the end of season 7. Maybe we won't have to wait so long into season 8 for the war to start. Maybe it will happen sooner than we think. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see all you guys for the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead. Bye!